Hey everybody, hope you guys are healthy and safe. So I just got back from an event in Hong Kong where I checked out the Galaxy S26 series. Now I don't have the Galaxy S26 phones on me right now yet. I'm actually holding the Samsung Galaxy Trifold. I just thought since I'm doing a Samsung video, I should hold Samsung's like absolute tip-top product. But anyway, the S26 phones, as usual, there are three phones, and as usual, in this video, I'm just going to focus on the Ultra, because the Ultra is the only phone that got any new hardware. So I'm going to quickly run down the list of new hardware features in the S26 Ultra. So number one, the main camera and a periscope zoom lens have faster apertures. Particularly the main camera, it went from f1.7 last year to f1.4 this year. f1.4 is very fast, very wide open. So Samsung says it's going to improve light intake by 46%. The periscope zoom lens aperture went from f3.2 last year to f2.9 this year. So it's not a big jump, but hey, any improvement in low light photography, it's welcome. Number two, the phone got a new Qualcomm chip, of course. It's the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy. That name is so ridiculously clunky. So it's a newest chip, and also paired with a larger vapor cooling chamber in the S26 Ultra, you're going to get better performance in gaming and video editing. Number three, the phone is also thinner than before at 7.9 millimeters. This is actually the thinnest Galaxy Ultra phone ever. And number four, perhaps the biggest change, and also in my opinion, a change that I'm going to want every other phone to copy, it's a new feature in the display called privacy display. So basically, it's a feature that you can turn on or off. When it's off by default, the Galaxy 6.9-inch OLED panel looks beautiful as ever with excellent viewing angles. But if you turn on privacy display, Samsung software will kick in and individually dim specific pixels and change how they reflect light so that the screen can only be seen clearly when you're looking at it straight ahead. It works like magic. So when I look at the S26 Ultra straight ahead like this, the screen looks good. And then as soon as I look at it from the side, the screen goes dim. So this is useful if you're in a very busy city like Hong Kong or in Seoul, where there's always like people around you. Like if you're on a train in Korea or in Hong Kong, you have no privacy on your phone. Whatever you're typing, people next to you can see. So this new feature will come in very handy. It can block off a lot of those prying eyes. So particularly if you're like doing online banking, or if you're texting something sensitive, or if you're using an embarrassing app like Tinder, you can block off views from other people. So this is a feature that I think is ingenious, and I want it on every other phone. Just like the anti-reflective matte coating that Samsung's been using for like 2 or 3 years now. Like that's awesome too. So kudos to Samsung for coming up with new display features that does bring real life practical benefits. So that's about it in terms of new features. So that's about it in terms of new hardware features with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Everything else, from the battery size to the ultra-wide sensor to that 3x 10 megapixel zoom to the display resolutions, are all identical to the S25 Ultra. But as usual, a new Samsung Galaxy phone isn't really all about hardware anymore. Samsung's been really all in providing you a very well-tuned software experience with a whole suite of AI features. And I've said this, I've always thought Samsung's collection of AI features are the best in the business, and I believe that is still true this year. So one new software feature coming to all the S26 phones is native support for Perplexity. Now I have to be honest, I'm not too familiar with Perplexity, but they are very similar to ChatGPT and Google Gemini. So basically now on the S26 phones, Perplexity is built into the phone. You can actually wake it up via voice by saying, "Hey Plex." That is a special Samsung exclusive feature, because if you use Perplexity on any other phone, you cannot wake it up via voice. Once you wake up Perplexity, you can ask it complicated queries, like multi-step queries with context, similar to what you would do with Gemini or ChatGPT. Now you may be wondering, but Samsung has already had a close partnership with Google to integrate Gemini into the phone, so why Perplexity? So according to Samsung's official press release, they're saying people want to have more than one option for AI models, and maybe that's true. But to be honest, I really think that's to cater to markets where Google Gemini isn't available. Like for example, Google Gemini is not available in Hong Kong, in China, and I believe some other countries in the world too. So in those parts of the world, if you have a Galaxy S25 Ultra, you actually lose a lot of features because you can't use Gemini. So with Perplexity built in, now finally in Hong Kong, Samsung users can have an AI agent that is as smart or almost as smart as Google Gemini. Now what happens if you're like in the US where Google Gemini and Perplexity can both run? According to Samsung, both AI assistants will be available and they will play nicely with each other. They will not interrupt each other. But of course, I haven't tested that yet. I have to see for myself. But it is interesting that now with the Samsung phone, the S26 Ultra, you have technically 3 or 4 digital assistants. You have Perplexity, you have Gemini, you have Google Assistant, and you have Bixby. Bixby is still there. That's a lot of overlapping. So elsewhere, generative AI photo editing is also better on the S26 series. You now have a feature to bring up a text box that allows you to type in a written prompt, so you can better describe what changes you want to make to the photo. Like for example, I took this photo of this group in a boring like office room, and I typed change the background to Tokyo, and then next thing you know, within 15 seconds, I got this photo with a window overlooking Tokyo, and it actually looks kind of realistic. Another feature is you can move or erase people from photos. I mean, that's not new, but Samsung allows you to do all these removing and moving all in one go. Like you can select multiple subjects, move them around the frame before you hit generate. With most other phones, you have to do it one by one. Like meaning if you want to move one part of the picture, you need to move that, generate first, and then select another part to erase or move. With Samsung Galaxy, you can do all that in one step. So I've said this in the past that I've always thought Samsung's collection of AI features is the best in the business, even better than Google Pixel, and I still think that is true. I think if you care about AI features the most on a phone, a Samsung Galaxy is still the way to go. Elsewhere, there's also a new feature called a Now Nudge, which is part of Perplexity, that will understand your contextual day and kind of send you nudges to remind you. I haven't got a chance to try it yet, but according to Samsung, some of the examples they give you include like, let's say every day you finish work at 7 and you call an Uber to this address. If you do that a few days in a row, Now Nudge will then remember, and then when you're getting off work at 7, it will send you a little nudge saying, do you want to call Uber to that exact same address? I know that you can do all these things with AI apps on any phone, but the benefit of a Samsung phone is that it collects all these features and put it into one device that's easy to use. Like for example, someone like my mom, she's not going to be able to know to jump into all these different apps to do these things. So for her to have everything under one device, and it's just like very easy to understand menu, it's a benefit. So I do think that is something that you can't just dismiss, even though you can technically do all the features I just said on an iPhone or a Xiaomi device. So this is my quick overview of the Galaxy S26 Ultra. I'm going to get my hands on a review unit very soon, so stay tuned. And also, if you want to just keep up to date with all the latest in smartphones, please subscribe to my channel because I always get my hands on devices very early. Like for example, I'm going to Spain soon and I'm going to get my hands on the Vivo X300 Ultra before everybody else. So I'm going to have the first video up, so stay tuned. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.